Hi, Wicked Ones. It's Laura
From
Triangle Life Coaching.
and I'm Stephanie from Universe Life Coaching. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. We're very calm today.
Yes.
It seems like it's
Yeah.
all right.
Two wicked females. That's
I'm
who
not
we
feeling
are.
really crazy today, though. I'm feeling really like
Just
mellow.
really calm.
I don't know what it is.
We're like two wicked females today. We're just wicked.
Not wicked. We're just wicked.
We're just wicked.
I don't know why.
I don't either. We've taken our kids to college, and either your kids are have gone back to school, or they are going back to school next week. So it's kind of a calm time a little bit.
I agree. We are here today to talk about your self-care and what you're doing for you. And we're not just talking about getting your nails done or
Getting a facial or
right. So we're talking about some like deep self-care.
it's the end of the summer. Summers are really a really busy time for women, and we have given and given and given and given to our children, to our families. We've gone on vacations with them. We've planned things.
We call it vacation, but is it really?
Is it really a vacation?
Not so much.
A vacation?
Not so much.
I love those YouTube videos that you see that go viral where the moms are at the bus stop, and when the kids get on the bus, they're like, woohoo, woohoo.
Yeah. You're ready for the end of summer. Let's get real. You're like, okay, let's get those school supplies and get going.
Let's do it. And you just haven't given yourself any time, really dedicated any time to you. So now is the time to kind of breathe and take care of yourself a little bit, and maybe assess where you are in your self-care, because it's so important.
Landscapers outside.
The yard people outside, so I'm sure.
You're going to all enjoy that sound.
Yes.
But anyway.
That's killing me outside.
Yeah. What are we going to do?
I made up a self-care wheel. Ta-da-ta-da. I actually got this from a fellow coach of ours, Marcy Miles, Soletta Coaching, and coaches women on self-care. So,
And she specializes in nurses.
yes, she does. And so I got this from her because I loved it. So what I did is I just made a circle, and you can do this at home. You can make your own wheel, and it just kind of gives you a visual as to where you might be in your life. And you can put anything on this wheel that you want as it relates to self-care. I put spirituality up here, exercise and rest, nutrition, physical environment, relationships, professional development, personal development, mind and body connection. So you start down here with like a 0, and you end up here with a 10, right? And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10's right up here. So you rate yourself on where you are in these pieces of the pie. In terms of, rest and exercise, am I happy with the amount of rest that I'm giving myself? Am I happy with my weight? Anything that can make me healthier in terms of exercise and rest. Same with nutrition. Am I happy with my diet? Your physical environment. That has a lot to do, Laura, with self-care. Because let's say you have a home office, but you just don't really feel like you can work in that space. Well, maybe it's time to rearrange the furniture, or paint your office, or hang some pictures, or just make it a cozy place where you want to be so that you can work better. Or maybe you want to, redo something in your house that doesn't seem to be quite right. Relationships, personal development, mind and body connection. Am I breathing? Am I connected to my mind and my heart and my body? Maybe I want to do some yoga. Am I going to yoga class? Am I meditating? It could be, could I be praying more? Have I forgotten to pray? It could be anything, like that. So a lot of times, you say, okay, well, my spirituality is like a 7. I'm not getting enough exercise, so that's maybe like a 3. And then my nutrition, maybe it's a 5. And then my physical environment, I just really am not, liking my, the way my home looks, or the way I'm living, or where my office works. So maybe that's a 2. Anyway, you rate yourself, like this. personal development, my work-life balance, it's pretty good. I'm taking some time for myself to journal or meditate. What you do is you connect the lines.
I like the music.
So now you have a visual of where you are doing well and where you can maybe give yourself some grace and give yourself some more time.
You can ask yourself, how rocky is my road in life since my wheel looks the way it does, and how do I want to get it to run more smoothly like a real wheel?
Right, because this is a crooked wheel or a wobbly wheel. And so, wobbly wheels, it's harder, it's not smooth. So how can I get my wheel of my self-care life to be more smooth? Maybe some areas are taking more time than you want those areas to take. So you can take some time and energy from those areas and dedicate them to maybe some more rest.
Or if you feel like I can't fit it in, I just feel like, like there is no way out. Well, that's where we come in, which always comes back to where you can really use a life coach, is when you're just feeling stuck, like, I just think I'm doing the best I can and there isn't anything more, there's most likely something underlying that you're not thinking about, and we can help uncover to help move you to the 10 to get your wheel smooth.
Well, I think all of us. I just don't have time. I just don't have time for me. I've said that. Just don't have time for me. And I think you just have to sit back and say, gosh, I'm worth it.
Yeah. It's
I'm
simple.
worth it.
It's just not easy. It's simple to say, I'm just going to go to the gym. It's simple to say, I'm just going to get up earlier. It's simple to say, I'm going to make more time for myself. But it's not easy because you're in a habit, or you're just kind of in a victim mode sometimes. Or sometimes you just don't want to and you're happy with that, and you're good with
That's okay.
whatever you are, right? And I was mentioning to Stephanie when she had brought the wheel in that you can even have this wheel, clean it up, empty it, and send it to people you can trust. You can send it to maybe to coworkers, your kids, your husband, some best friends, some relatives, and ask them how they see you in that wheel, so that they can determine on the outside, because I'm getting so much exercise and I'm just not losing any weight. Well, they may be like, oh, I see exercise at a 2. So they're not really, personally attacking you, but kind of letting you know where they see you in the wheel. And maybe you can ask some questions about that. And maybe that can even release some of the things that are limiting you.
Get their perspective on maybe where your life is kind of off kilter. Not that you have to follow that, but just to get maybe a different perspective.
Absolutely. And you can also take this same idea and you can put anything to it. You don't have to do self-care. You could do work, relationship, and just pie out what each of those topics are for yourself.
In the pies, you can put family relationships, friend relationships, romance, work. You can put anything in there to see how, you're balancing out at this point in time, how you feel like you're balancing those things out. And then you can have a visual of, wow, I'm really short on the romance end of things.
And maybe you can take a picture of that and put it on our Facebook so that people can take a good look at what that is. So I want to talk a little bit about Brene Brown that I was listening to this morning, and she was talking about self-care, and I wrote some stuff down because I wanted to make sure that I was on point. And she talks about, one of her books is The Power of Vulnerability. And she talks about being worthy and using your productivity as your worthiness. So it would look like your friend comes over to you and says, hey, so what have you done this summer? And you're like, I laid around, I went to the beach, I don't know. And then you kind of feel like, God, am I being lazy? Like, should I tell her that I did all these things? Because she's like, well, I am the leader of my Girl Scout troop, so I spent the summer organizing my whole year. I volunteered for 10 different charities. I took my kids on a whirlwind trip, ironed all of their stuff, packed it, cleaned my whole house, painted 3 rooms.
Learned Spanish.
Yeah.
I'm working on French right now.
Right. You're feeling a little like maybe lazy when you're really not. And that laziness can make you feel shameful and bad when it's really not. And think about how the productivity in your life may be taking over and creating less sleep for yourself, which will create relationship problems because you'll be irritable or you'll be resentful that you've done all this stuff that no one really has asked you to do, and probably haven't gotten any accolades for it, because when people don't ask you to do things, they may not notice them.
So if I went to the grocery store and I ironed the clothes and I, volunteered for the Girl Scouts and I did this and I took my kids to 7 different places in one day and I made a home cooked meal and I did this and I did this and I did this, then I'll be worthy.
Right.
Then I'll be worthy.
I was totally that person. When my son was in first grade, I was the PTO president. I was the Girl Scout leader. I really was. My husband traveled globally. I did all the fixing of the stuff around the house. Like, seriously, what a waste of my time. I could have hired, I could have just volunteered a small portion of my time, spent more time with my kids, or spent more time doing things for me. And when I look back, I'm thinking, I don't even see those people anymore that I went and did school with. So to show up like that for them was
because
a
you
little
wanted
bit of a waste.
because you wanted affirmations from them that you were worthy. Oh my goodness, Laura, you're so busy. Wow, I just don't know how you do it all. And so you get affirmations from them, and then you're like, okay, well, all right, I'm worthy now because someone else thinks I'm doing a lot. And so even if I do more, I'll be more worthy. No.
And I play tennis. I'm going to play tennis today. And there was a time where I've heard people were saying, oh gosh, she just plays tennis all day long. That's all she does. Truly, that really isn't all I did. And I don't know what they're hiding behind in their own worthiness to say that. So think about that when you're judging somebody else, or you're thinking about they never do anything, or they have people cleaning their house for them. There's other stuff happening in their lives, or maybe you're just feeling a little jealous that you're not making more time for yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'm not calling you out.
No.
I'm not calling you out. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Maybe just make a list of the stuff that you would like to be doing, and make a list of all the stuff that you are doing. Because when you make these lists and see them, you can really identify what's happening in your life, just like we did with the Wheel of Life. And then maybe you can ask some people to help. Don't be afraid to ask people to help.
I really learned that from Laura. She's really helped me identify what my core values are. My core values are not cleaning the house. My core value is not having a pristine home. So then Laura says, well, then why are you spending 3 hours a day cleaning your house when you could be doing something so much more fulfilling in your life? Why just just hire somebody to do it, or get your kids on a Saturday, you just all pitch in for 2 hours and get the house clean and it's done.
Well, underlyingly, and I'm the same way, I'm not pointing fingers at her or anybody out there.
That's
I would
okay.
do
You
it-
can point fingers. It's all right.
Well, I would do it because what if a friend knocked on the door and came in and my house was a mess? What would they say? Like, what a waste. Really, who cares? If they're going to judge me, maybe I really need to reevaluate that relationship.
Exactly.
When I was listening to the book this morning, she made a really good point. Instead of going to somebody and asking them, hey, how are you? What do you do?
Oh, I hate that question.
So maybe you can say, what do you love? What do you love? Just change it up. So you can ask somebody the question and they just can feel relieved that they're not like, oh, I'm a stay-at-home mom. And then have to explain, oh, but I do this, but I do that, but I do this. But I do
Haven't you done that before? Like, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but
No.
there's always a but. Hi, how are you? So what do you love to do?
Oh, I love to play tennis, and I love to read about self-help, and I love to coach, and I do love to organize. That does make me happy.
She does. She tries to help
do.
organize
I
me.
try to
She
organize
does.
her.
She does. I'm a mess.
Although Stephanie has taught me the pause button, because I'll be like, oh my God, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And she's like, wait, what are you talking about? We cannot do all that in one day. Relax, pause, Laura, pause.
Right. So she's taught me how to kind of manage my time and organize so that I can have an easier life.
And she taught me how to slow down and enjoy the way everything looks and is.
Yeah.
Not rushing.
Yeah.
So that's what we have for you today. All
So-
about self-care and about you.
So what do you love?
What do you love?
What do you love?
And if you're stuck and you don't know, reach out to somebody who can help.
Yeah.
Who can help get you there. Because it
Yeah.
would just be a few times. Get
Reach
you
out
where you
to a
need
life
be.
coach.
They can give you some tools to move you in the right direction.
Kids have coaches, right? For soccer and cheer and football. And, you think nothing about, dropping them off and getting them coached, right?
What about you?
What about you? Life is a pretty hard game. Don't you
Yes.
think? With lots of ins and outs and wow and pitfalls and highlights. And so it would be nice to have a coach to kind of navigate that with you.
And remember, we do not tell you what to do. It's non-directive. We are trained to ask really powerful questions to help you dig deep inside, to get it out, what's good for you and what's going to make you happy.
Right.
So visit my website, Triangle Life Coaching. Visit Universe Life Coaching.
Universe Life Coaching on Facebook. I also have a blog.
Yes, she does.
Yes.
And you can visit our Two Wicked Females Facebook and
Two
Twitter.
wicked females. That's
I'm
who
not
we
feeling
are.
really crazy today, though. I'm feeling really like
Just
mellow.
really calm.
I don't know what it is. I feel
We're like
mellow.
two wicked females today. We're just wicked.
Not wicked. We're just wicked.
We're just wicked.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
I'm just like,
I will say just one more thing on the eclipse, and I swear it's over.
No.
So there was light before the eclipse, then there was darkness, and then there was light again. That's my point.
Very nice. I like it. All right. Have a great day, everybody. And thanks for stopping in and let us know what you think and subscribe to our YouTube show.
Yes. Love ya.
Love you guys.
Love you, wicked. Be wicked. You're wicked worthy.
You are wicked. You are worthy every single time. Come on now.
Yes. And by the way, if you want a bracelet,
Let us know. We'll mail you one.
let us know. It says, I am wicked worthy. And on the back it says Shazam, because that's like an aha moment. Shazam.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.